This is a PSA for anyone that's single that is not on a dating app. Where are you and what are you doing? What are your hobbies? Help us out. Are we doing saunas and run clubs? Like, let's just make it a communal PSA for everyone. We're done with dating apps, but we want to meet people. Put it in the comments. Where are you hanging out? What are you doing? Where do we find you?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you're the type of woman that's like, I love when a man tells me to be ready by 7:30, he tells me when he's going to pick me up, tells me where we're going, tells me what to wear, plans the entire date, pays for the date, but then when he tells you to cut off a friend that's not good for you, you say, you're not allowed to tell me what to do. Then you don't actually want true masculine leadership. You want leadership when it benefits you and what you want in the moment.
His money is my money. My money is my money. That's not selfish. That's the standard when you're with a real man. A provider doesn't see providing as a burden. He sees it as his role. And a woman who knows her worth doesn't apologize for it. She multiplies what he gives her. The wrong man will call this gold digging, and the right man will call this partnership.
There ain't no partnership in what she's talking about, and that's for sure. Let me know what you think.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
Fellas, where y'all at? All them ladies. I love the ladies. Send me the addy, I'ma slide on you. Cause I ain't see a man in sight. What's going on down there? Where you at? Where you at? Where the guys at? I know it ain't that hard out there. I know it ain't getting on y'all. I know that's cap. I know it's cap.
You have a lot of these women that are demanding that the man be 6 foot, 6 figures, 6-pack, but then, you know, they don't really have a whole lot that they bring to the table, but a huge body count.
You have a degree, a job, and have overcome so many challenges in life. But do you still feel empty inside?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. That's because you need a husband. Once you get a husband, you can do so many things, like work all day at your job, then come home and work more. You get to cook dinner, clean the house, do laundry, wash the dishes, and so much more. Your husband was never taught how to do these things, so you get to do all the labor by yourself for free.
The patriarchy is not responsible for any side effects, including husband leaving you, husband cheating on you, husband feeling towards you, husband committing action to you, husband starting a podcast, husband having a secret second family, and so much more.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
Something I've noticed is that men be so afraid of rejection these days that they will immediately assume that you're uninterested if you're not like just all over them. Like, I can be interested in you, but when I first meet you, first of all, I observe strangers when I first meet them. You're probably not really gonna see a whole lot of my personality, a whole lot of me showing interest like that in my mannerisms or in the way that I'm speaking, because I'm just observing you before I even allow you in my energy. You know how many people I come across or how many people try to get at me? I don't got time to be like giddy in everybody's face. Like, I need to see what energy to discard and what energy to allow in my space. Secondly, I'm giving you a chance to lead as a man. I might not be steering the direction of the conversation and how we're interacting because I'm giving you a chance to lead.
You know, you have a lot of men checking out of dating because they're looking at the landscape and they're like, I don't know if this is worth my time, man. I don't know if I should even be out here. I think I'm gonna go get a burger and go home, man.
I think that the word strong is overused. I think that when we use that terminology, we do mean successful, which I think does make sense. If you are a gentleman and if you're more traditional and the expectation is that you are the provider, usually financially when we use that terminology, and you have a woman who's doing better than you, at least on the surface, then there is going to be a level of intimidation. I would like to imagine that man should then step up But I can imagine if his woman or woman that he wants to see is out earning him. But I think the piece that we're not mentioning right now, very specifically, and I'm glad that you mentioned it, is the strong, independent black woman trope. That is a trope I want no parts of, absolutely. I am not a strong, independent black woman. I need my husband's help every day. And so that label is what I want removed from our society as much as humanly possible, and I hope that we are all doing the work to get there.
A lot of men nowadays, they listen to these modern women and they're choosing to stay single. They're choosing peace. I don't want to be bothered with foolishness anymore. I think that's okay, don't you? If you're gonna give me problems, I'm not going to date you.
Do you know what it actually means when a man stays, even after you push him away? Most people call it weakness. They say a man with options would have left already. But that's not what's happening. A man who keeps showing up after your silence, after your cold days, is not desperate. He is decided. Walking away is easy. Anyone can leave when things get uncomfortable. But staying when it hurts, when you're building walls instead of bridges, that takes something rare. He has seen your worst and still comes back because he knows the real you. Real love doesn't quit when things get difficult. It may get quiet, but it doesn't disappear. If there's someone who still shows up, even when you go silent, don't take that for granted. In a world where leaving is easy, he keeps choosing you.
Your love feels so fake. My demands are high to make.
If a woman is single, she's probably the problem. Because a woman can get a man like that, right? A woman can just be like, I want you. No, I want you. A woman can pick and choose a man. Like, as sick as that sounds, women know we have the option. So the fact that women choose to be single, or they tell themselves they're choosing to be single, they're the problem. And most men that are single have experienced women who cannot take accountability in a relationship. It takes so much strength to take accountability. It takes so much willingness to change. It takes so much. It takes so much just confidence to be able to tell yourself, hey, I know I can be better. This is not my higher self. But guess what? There's women out there really telling themselves, this is my higher self. This is me. This is my best self. What the? Really? Really? Really, Brett? There's such a disconnect out there. And that's because of the women. And that's because of us. It's because of us.
A lot of these people that continue to say that men are broken. And honestly and truly, it's hilarious that they fix their mouth to even say that. Because, oh, men opting out, they must be broken. No, I'm just tired of disrespect. Can that not be true? Am I tripping?
When do avoidants realize they let a good woman go? I had a session recently and my client was crashing out because her avoidant ex had moved on so quickly. He was already on the apps. He was already dating someone else. And she said, did I even matter? When is he going to regret losing me? Sometimes he never regrets losing you. But if they do regret losing you, oftentimes it looks like this. Imagine a man getting his dream job, even though he isn't fully qualified for it. The benefits are great. The pay is even better. He's shocked he even got this opportunity. But over time, he gets used to how great things are. But occasionally, work will get stressful. And when things get stressful, he thinks, wow, they're so demanding. I don't need all of this. So then he's pissed off. He goes home and he applies for other jobs. And he thinks, you know what? This place needs me more than I need them. I'm going to leave. So he quits his job impulsively and he says, you know what? This is actually a good thing. He doesn't regret leaving his job then. But then he finds another job and he says, you know what? This is going to be great. So he puts his best foot forward. But over time, he realizes the pay is less, the benefits are okay, and that is when he begins to realize, wow, I actually had it so good at my other job. But by the time he starts to regret losing you, the old position has already been filled.
Once men realize, hey, I don't need a woman to have peace, I don't need a woman to be happy, then a lot of men are like, oh, well, if that's the case, I'm not going to be taking the risk to date a lot of these modern women You know, there's some women out there that are pretty good, pretty cool. A lot of these modern women, you can't do it, man.
So a man says he wants a fit, feminine woman. He gets called shallow. But when a woman says she won't date anybody under 6 feet or without money, that's somehow okay. This is why men are frustrated. Women expect men to meet every single one of their standards, but the second a man dares to set his own, suddenly he's toxic, insecure, or a bad guy. Think about that double standard for a second. Men get shamed for wanting feminine, respectful, high-value women, but women get applauded for demanding tall, rich, and perfect men when they don't even take care of themselves as well or look like they deserve a type of man like that. That's not equality. That is hypocrisy. And here's the truth. Men, you are allowed to have your standards. Wanting a woman who respects you, takes care of herself, and brings real value to your life doesn't make you shallow. It makes you smart. And women, if you can't handle that, the problem isn't the men's standards. The problem is you. Stop being nasty. At the end of the day, relationships only work when respect goes both ways. Men, do not drop your standards out of fear or annoyance. And if you ever want to go deeper on this, I've got resources linked in my bio that can help you out. And of course, if you enjoy this type of content and want to support me, click the link in my bio. Every bit helps me keep making videos like this.
A lot of men are seeing the way these courts are one-sided, the way these judges are one-sided, the way the law seems to be one-sided. And they're saying, man, you know, I'm not going to get married. If I do get married, it's not going to be with the state because the state is crooked. Oh, no, just. And modern women are like, oh, just take a chance. I'm not. Because I'm not about to lose everything that I built.
She wants to wear the pants in the relationship, but she also wants a masculine man. She wants a man to lead, but villainizes him every time he does. If you want men to act masculine, you have to treat them like men. You can't lead every decision, control the relationship, and then wonder why you feel exhausted, irritated, and unsupported. Masculine men lead, they protect, they provide direction. But here's the issue, when men step into that role, many women villainize them. A man says, don't wear that tonight, and he's labeled controlling and insecure, when he's simply just protecting. A man says, I'm not okay with your attitude, and is called manipulative when he's just being clear about his expectations. A man says, I don't tolerate disrespect, and suddenly he's a narcissist, when in reality he's just practicing self-respect. This isn't oppression, this is just masculine leadership. Masculinity has been demonized so much that women want strong men but are not allowing strength. Control isn't femininity, it's wounded energy. It comes from fear, not power. If you don't trust a man to lead, that's a conversation to have, not a role to sabotage. You cannot emasculate a man and still expect him to show up as one. If you want a masculine partner, stop punishing masculine behavior and labeling it as these negative buzzwords. Even when you're single, let men lead, let men protect, and let them be men. Because what you honor grows and what you attack disappears.
A lot of modern women don't really understand that divorce and, you know, really even before you get to divorce, relationships cost a lot. They cost a lot. And you know, honestly, now that I say that, I think modern women do understand that relationships do cost a lot. That's why they're trying to make men shoulder all of it. And men are like, no, I'm not going to be doing that. That's why you see a lot of men opt out of dating. They quit, you know, just entirely.
I'm honestly starting to think that people do not want relationships anymore. They just want access. I'm finding that a lot of men are really just curious. They're curious about a woman. They might see you on Instagram. They might see you on TikTok, wherever. They might see you outside. And they're curious, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're interested in pursuing a relationship with you. We have to stop confusing curiosity with interest and intention. Honestly, I'm noticing that this is starting to be like a trending thing with men, and we as women have to do better at weeding these type of men out early. And most of the times we can weed out these men early if we ask the right questions. A lot of men will always tell you who they are in the way that they answer the question that you ask. Always make sure that your questions are clear, direct, and intentional for yourself so you can get the answers that you want early. If you're struggling with not knowing how to ask the right questions, what questions to ask, how many to ask, when you should ask them, I've created a guide for you guys. If you're interested, it's in my bio. Check it out and thank me later. Remember,
You have to date with discernment, and dating with discernment means asking the right questions. That's why my guide, Dating with Discernment, 100 questions to weed them out early, is going to help you in the long run. You're welcome.
You know, once these modern women really understand that you've talked so much, that you've talked yourself out of a relationship, and you think that, here's what modern women think. They think they're going to be able to talk crazy, talk themselves out of a relationship, but that's okay. I messed that up. I'm going to be able to talk myself back into one. Sometimes with the same man, and he going to take me back. Not for a lot of these men.
Y'all need to check this one out. Some of y'all ladies gonna have to settle. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but listen, everybody can't have a perfect man out here.
Y'all wanted equal rights and equal pay so bad, and now that you've gotten it, it's only fair that we go 50-50 in the relationship. Which at this point in the video would invoke you saying, oh, like you're a broke, insecure guy, naturally, but I don't know if you can tell, that is my water view.
I'm on my soft guy era. Facts. Listen, I don't mind still being the leader, the masculine man, but we gotta do 50-50. I don't know who promoted this strong, independent black man thing. I can't do it anymore. I need a hard-working woman that can take care of me, pay all the bills. I'm gonna need you girls with kids to realize that you ain't got that many options.
I am in my soft guy era. Now it's embarrassing for all men that we're holding our standard the exact same way that you have a standard for us.
Why this chick tried to offer me $20 for lunch. Like, what am I gonna do with $20 for lunch? That doesn't even cover an appetizer. If you're broke, just say that.
Exactly what you ladies want, but we're not giving it anymore. Drizzle, drizzle. We're done with the patriarchy and this old archaic way of doing things where we're supposed to provide and protect for you, where we're supposed to be willing to risk and give our lives for you. Listen, we don't need to bring anything to the table because we are the table. Without my seed, you can't have any kids, drizzle, drizzle. Okay, so y'all sound bitter based on the women y'all have dated in y'all past. All women do not care about no money. And there are some men that desire to pay for everything. That's what they want to do. That's what makes them feel good. If you do not desire to do that, then date someone that do not care about any of that. Make better choices and you wouldn't have to be pouting right now.
And another thing that modern women try to do, and this is why some of their lists are so long, is they want to make a man feel obligated to fix a lot of the nonsense that they created, that they got into before they got into a relationship with that man. And that's not really even his responsibility. That's your responsibility. Y'all say y'all done the healing work, so I should see the fruit of that. I should see the profit from that. But you know.
Things I want in a man. Number 1, height. My man's gotta be above 6'2". My last 2 boyfriends were 6'3". Both of them. And they were jacked. And they looked really good. How am I supposed to downgrade from that? So, unfortunately, my next man will have to be 6'2" and up. Number 2, you can't have a gut. I need you built. I need you fit and going to the gym multiple times a week. I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna date a fat guy. If I can be in the gym 5 days a week and be fit and care about how I look, you can do it. Number 3, he cannot have a salary cap. Whatever career he's in, he needs to have multiple streams of income, and we need to be able to make as much money as possible. That's why I will never date a guy who works in corporate. What is your 100K salary cap gonna do for me? The max you'll ever be able to get to is 150? Yeah, no, we're good. I need you in a career that is going to make us money. I am a lover of luxury. I like expensive things. I like expensive vacations. So will you, if you're my man. So we need a career that can support that. Number 4, whenever we travel, he's got to be flying his business. I'm sorry, we're not staying in economy together. It's just not happening. Again, this is where the lack of salary cap is really going to help. And number 5, he's got to have a really nice watch. I'm not really impressed when I hear somebody has a Rolex anymore because those can be really cheap. I would much prefer if you had an AP or a Patek and maybe multiple of them. The Rolex can be your day watch and it still better be 50K plus.
Okay. Honey, you're not worth it. You're not worth it. Can I say what we're all thinking? The fact that you delineated this with such, an ego, like you think you're God's gift, you're not worth any of those things. If he is 6'2" and up, built, has multiple watches of the kind that you delineate are appropriate, makes over 150K with no salary cap, and flies his girlfriend first class everywhere, even if he does all that, he shouldn't be doing it for you because you're not worth it. Right? The girl who's worth it is the one who doesn't demand all this and gets it just because she's polite and amazing to be around and loyal and loves her man for who he is, not for the stuff. So again, and listen, oh God, I hate to be this person. Attractive girl, yes, but man, she thinks she's a 10 plus and I don't know. Listen, girls, You have an inflated sense of self that's beyond. So these are the types of girls. Honey, what are you doing for him? I want a list. In fact, I would like you, honey, if you're watching, because some of them do, by the way. Just so you know, guys, I get messages from these women. Oh my God, that's me in the video. You're so mean. You're like a mean, like old woman. I eat it up like you know, a Christmas cookie that's just cooked just right. It's not too soft. It's not too burnt. I eat it up because you know what? It's getting under their skin because I'm telling them the truth. So, honey, love muffin out there, if you see the video, I would like to see your list of what you bring to the table that doesn't involve what you look like. Crickets chirp a little bit more. Really, I want a long list. This is crazy. Okay. And now listen, it would be one thing if she internally really like said, well, I want a guy. The height thing always is just fascinating to me. Like, I can't, I don't know what that's about. But if you wanted a guy who was fit, and you wanted a guy who made good money because you wanted to be like, say you wanted to not work, right? And you wanted to be like, hey, I want to stay home with the kids, so he's got to carry the load. And let's say you really did, when you traveled, you wanted to travel really well and you wanted to take a really great vacation. And, you know, the watches is ridiculous. Honestly, was how unbelievably materialistic and lame. But whatever. Let's say you wanted these things and you internally felt like that. You would also, if you were a good woman, you'd be like, you know what? I have to be pulling my weight, you know, and I'm going to provide these things that a guy really wants. I'm going to make myself really attractive to those, you know, high value guys that have the money and all this. And what's that going to look like? Well, it's going to look like me being respectful and me being loyal and me being submissive. And, you know, the man of the house is the man of the house. And I'm not going to be a headache for him. And I'm going to say, hey, I want to stay home with the kids. I want to, you know, cook the meals, and I want to be present, and I want to be mom. And, you know, it's a different energy that then guys want to do. Guys are so inclined to want to do really nice things for good women, right? They want to do nice things for you. They want to treat their girlfriends well. They want to buy a nice, you know, birthday treat or a birthday surprise, but not for women like this. Guys, listen, if they're delineating all this stuff, they don't care about you. They want like a showpiece, or they want like, it's all about money, and she's a lover of luxury. She doesn't care about you at all. You want a woman who cares about you so much that the stuff is extra and it's nice. Don't get me wrong. A beautiful luxury vacation is nice. Don't get me wrong. Flying first class is nice. And you know, all this stuff is nice. Even the watches, which I could give a lick about. But yeah, sure, it's nice stuff. Okay, whatever the stuff is that you like. I like, you know, infrared saunas that are expensive. So it's nice. But you need to know that that woman's going to be by your side through thick and thin. Not there for the stuff. How unbelievably unlikable these women are. Right? Is it me? Get the chat. Tell me. I want to know.
Who and what are we asking men to make lifelong commitments to? Look at our media. Look at how we portray ourselves. Sexualizing and objectifying ourselves. Rapping and living raps. Of having sneaky links. Dating for money, for trips, for bag. Idolizing women who get a lot of attention. Women bearing it all for a like or a follow. Whether they are wives or not. Showing no respect to their husbands. Listening and propping up content that only fuels how much we aren't the problem.
In my opinion, and I need to know this from men, when you get to a place where you feel like I'm out, how can we resuscitate you? How do we resuscitate you when you have checked out, men?
I had a better question. What? How do you know when he says they're done at this point?
I know. So men help out. How do you stop it from getting there? Ladies want to know this.
Nola Great Nine. Do the things we did in the beginning. That's the thing. Keep dating. Keep talking.
I'm tired. I'm tired of being told I'm a great man, but being treated like I ain't one. Tired of being told I'm everything she wants in a man, only to find out she's been searching for more in another one. I'm tired, like emotionally exhausted. Like I sleep on myself while not being able to sleep myself. I'm tired. I'm tired like the only break I catch is with my heart. And the only peace I get is me and a bunch of them on the corner, puzzled, trying to put myself together after I put it all together because the lies still give you the truth. I'm tired.
The lies give you the truth.
You are in a relationship where your other half is telling you what to do and tries to completely control you. Just know that your better half has no respect for you. And then please explain to me, how can you love somebody when you don't respect that person? Ooh, that's a hard one, because a relationship is a two-way street. Now, if you're in a relationship like that, I would say start coming back. But baby steps, very subtle. Start coming back. Let them get used to it. And if it's absolutely not changeable and that person's constantly dominating, trying to dominate and control you, then I would leave that relationship. Why? Because we have only one life. Yeah, but boss, I just got married with her because the was so good. Yeah, you're the dumbest person on the planet if you marry somebody for the. Come on, guys. You need to have a connection. So start doing that, relax, and I hope you're going to find a way out if you're, of course, in that position. Godspeed, everybody. Bonk.
That's why you can't just have one, because one can't satisfy everything you did listen. I did listen. So now what? I got one, I got a hood nigga. That's gonna satisfy like the bad boys, you know? Like the fun, the living on the edge. Then you got your respectful, nice gentleman guy. Like
8,000 years after the fallout of feminism. Wow, so was that really happening in the black community in the 21st century?
Yeah, that was really happening in the black community. You had older single women basically teaching their grandchildren to repeat the cycle. It's kind of toxic, isn't it?
But didn't the black females know that this was a negative when it comes to family creation? And overall weakens the black community?
Yeah, they knew. We tried to tell them. But they said, I don't need a man, I'm independent. And that gets really annoying. So we just said, all right, let them do whatever the they want.
One look and I yell timber.
So there's something that we have to talk about. It's pretty serious and it really keeps coming up, so I think we should address it. And it's my age and ethnicity. Well, the thing is that I'm not in my 20s, and I wouldn't think that I look like I'm in my 20s, but the men hitting on me, they're in their 20s. So I think we need to address this. I am in my 30s, on the late end of 30. 39, actually. And let's talk about ethnicity. I'm not Hapa, I'm not half. I'm white, like super white, like English, German, some French. There's a little bit of Italian and Portuguese in there though. So a little mixed, I suppose. But just so you know, that's the deal.
I recently did a video about the list of requirements for a wife from another male creator on here. So for funsies, I thought I would create a list of the ideal requirements for a husband. Let's do this. He must be at least 6 foot tall with at least a six-pack, and while we're measuring 7 inches or better. He will have a full, luxurious, well-coiffed head of hair. He has an annual income of at least $250,000. He also is very handy around the house. The ideal husband has a high libido and high emotional intelligence, but short refractory period. He can have friends. In fact, they gather weekly for group therapy. There must be a good relationship with his mother, but boundaries. Nothing creepy. This man, he's aged about 35 to 42. And finally, he'll need to buy me flowers once a week and rub my feet every night. I can't wait to see those angry, apoplectic comments from people who roll in and don't realize this is a gag video. Anyway, ladies, what do you think? What did I leave off of the list?
This is why society is on a downfall, because why is GQ featuring an OnlyFans girl? This is not Playboy magazine. Why is she even being featured in Gentleman's Quarterly? What about this is gentlemanlike? We don't need this being pushed in the media, but you guys see what agenda is being put against the male audience. This has to be some feminist that either is running the panel or just somebody is just being a little too progressive. There's no reason why we need digital workers on the cover of GQ, whether virtually or the physical magazine. There's no reason why this should even be covered. This is what I mean by we keep giving the wrong women these platforms. Why society is regressing. We don't need to see any more OnlyFans models, especially not in Gentleman's Quarterly. Save that for Playboy. We need to start setting some type of boundaries, because if not men, they're just secretly sneaking, these different ideologies with these workers. They're weakening our minds. Like, this is literally essentially another push for pornography in mainstream media. coming from GQ. GQ used to be about men's fashion. It's a male. Why are we even showing this woman? It's GQ. Used to go to GQ to see how guys dress well, what colognes they're wearing, where these superstar athletes, where they're shopping. How to tie. I don't want to see an OnlyFans girl when I'm looking up GQ. And this is what I mean by they're just literally programming the next generation of men to fail, to simp, to be weak-minded. This is pedestalizing a worker. Whoever published this, they need to be fired, GQ. We don't need this. Do better. Trust fund baddies only. If you want to align with high-value women, you're tired of what is being pushed out there, and you're frustrated with the quality of women you have to deal with because of so much of the rhetoric that's being pushed in social media, and you want to align with women that would actually add value to you, women that actually will help you elevate in your life, you want to improve the quality of your dating life, I'll fly to you in person, I'll fix your image, I'll fix your code approach, your closing, your execution so that you can have a high quality dating life and a high quality woman. DM me app.
Something that really confuses me about dating in 2026 is that men will tell you that they really enjoy spending time with you. They want to see you again. You talk about future plans, going places and doing things together. And then they just slowly stop responding. Or send the most basic text that you have to fight for your life to keep the conversation going. So clearly you're not interested. Why are you telling me that you still want to see me again? Just say you don't. It's not that hard to be honest and communicate accurately and be transparent about how you're feeling, because now I'm sitting here being we just spent a week together. He told me he wanted to see me again. We made plans for the summer. We talked about, how we're so similar in so many ways and that we like spending time together. And now I'm just being breadcrumbed to be kept along for the convenience of those plans in the summer. But he doesn't want the in-between of from March until June. Just wants to pop up again in June. Which I realize it just freaking sucks to go through every single time, because every time I think I start to like a man, which is the worst thing ever, he shows me why I shouldn't. And why I believe it every single time, I don't know, because I'm a hopeless romantic and I think that a man might actually be telling the truth once upon a time. But alas, it's never the case. They are always just lying to my face.
Wait a minute, I'm confused now. I thought men had no power, in the dating market. I thought men were replaceable. No. Nah, I'm just joking. Men have the power to put women in relationships or to offer relationships. They have the power to have a bunch of dudes. So I just find this funny. She's talking about she's going through this every single time, which lets you know that the guys that you're attracted to do this to you every single time. What about the guys that don't want to do that to you? And we obviously know the answer to this, but it's just funny. You have to ask this question. You literally have to ask this question. How are you complaining? You're doing it to yourself. It's not the men at this point. You have to hold yourself accountable. What am I doing wrong? And then let me fix that. But see, I'm telling you, with women, it don't work like that. They don't work like that. They're not going to date somebody who they're not attracted to, somebody that they need to let grow on them, even though they're the biggest sayers of this nonsense. It's your personality that counts and all this stuff. So what are we worried about the hot guy for if his personality is the most important thing?
There is an epidemic that we need to talk about. Why is it that men ignore you in person? What's going on? And you know what? You're probably thinking this has only happened to me once and I'm making a video about it, but no, this has been happening years. It's years. So, for example, when I was in college, I was hanging out with this guy on and off for a while. And I would see him at the bar all the time and he would never say anything to me, which was just, oh my God. But one time, my best friend went up to this girl that he was standing next to that he was friends with. And she starts talking to her. And I'm with my friend, obviously. He looks at me, eyes wide open, and then turns around, walks away as fast as he possibly could, all the way out the bar. All the way out the bar. And then 30 minutes later snapped me and told me to come hang out. I was like, no. Same guy. About a year ago, me and my two best friends were walking to the bar out of the Uber, and we see him and his two friends coming to the bar at the same time. Literally, to go up to this bar, you have to go up all these stairs. This man stops at the bottom of the stairs with his two friends and waits for me and my friends to go up the stairs, get our IDs checked, pay cover, and go inside before he walks in. And I turn around and I see him just staring at me from the bottom of the stairs, waiting for me to finish. Oh my God, just like you could literally just say hey and that's it, and it wouldn't be a big deal. And you know what? He's not the only one. Because like he's not. There are more. This one guy, I was snapping him for months. I would see this man at the gym all the time and he would never say hi to me. Never. Ever. And you know what? One time I was working out right next to him for like 20 minutes, didn't say a word. And if you think that's bad, it's really not, because the same guy, one time I had literally just Snapchatted him first, by the way. I was in the Uber, my friend and I get out of the Uber to go in line for this bar, and we see him getting in line for the bar. And so obviously we're behind this man in line. We were in line right next to each other for an hour and a half, and he did not say hi to me once. And you know what? I did call him out for that. I did Snapchat him after he just like disappeared at one point. I Snapchatted him and I was like, I don't know, I called him out. I was like, wasn't that you in line or something? This man responded with, think I would have recognized you. I threw my phone. Another guy. I knew this man for like 4 years. We were snapping on and off. In those 4 years, we hung out a couple times somewhere in the middle of college. I don't know. This guy, oh my God, me and my friend were sitting at the bar, sitting at a table. He is sitting at the table right next to us. Keep in mind, the bar is empty because it's in the middle of summer. He is sitting at the table next to us, just Snapchatting me. And I told him to come say hi to me. He gets up, finally, after I tell him to come say hi, gets up, comes up to me, says, hey, I gotta go piss, and goes to the bathroom. What the? Another guy. I hung out with him a couple times. My two friends that I was at the bar with one night were talking to his friends that they knew, and he was with them. And it was just me and him, not talking to anyone, standing right next to each other. This man took his hat, his baseball cap, brought it down to his eyes, like right here, and covered his eyes and just looked down so that he wouldn't have to make eye contact with me and have to say something. This is like so sad. You would think that this is all, but no. It keeps going. Another guy, hung out with him a couple times. I actually thought he was nice, and I actually did think he was, I thought he was nice, okay? This guy, I see him at the bar, he is just ignoring me, so I'm literally staring at him, waiting for him to say hi to me. I'm standing right next to him and just staring at him, waiting for him to say something. He doesn't say anything at all. He looks at me, but he doesn't say anything. And then 10 minutes after I left the bar, he Snapchats me and says something about me acting weird. I was like, why is it weird to expect you to say hi to me? No, like for real. Like, is it that weird for guys to say hi to you? Like, since when is that normal? Like, what? Anyways, I decided I was never going to speak to a man again if they do that, and I have been boy sober for 9 months. So, yeah.
I think a good step for modern women to understand is that accountability goes a long way, right? A lot of these modern women, especially when they're trying to get to know a man, it's always somebody else's fault. They don't take accountability for the things that they got wrapped up in. And you know, I never did anything wrong. Truth be told, I think a lot of these modern women, even with some of the crazy stuff that they've done, if they would just take accountability and be like, you know, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. This is what I learned from it. And it was totally my fault. A man could be like, I'm not really in love with what she was doing, but it looks like she learned her lesson. And usually those types of women, they come into the date, you already know within maybe like a minute or two of talking to them, they really on that type of time. I am trying to take care of my man. Hey, you know, you need this, or, you know, I'm not these type of women. And it's not them being desperate. It's them making you comfortable and letting you know, hey, I understand what you go through as a man. I understand what these women be out here doing. I want a man. So I'm trying to get on your time schedule. Now, you can't, you know, be doing me wrong and all that stuff, but I'm trying to, I really like you. Now, come on and get this, you know. If y'all would come in with that type of energy, a man would be like, oh, okay. All right, man. Well, shoot, you seem like she really liked me. And the more y'all get to hang out and date, you get the nice things because he's like, oh, man, that's a nice spot. I never went because I never really had anybody to go with. But now you here, Shoot, why not?